Well, hi there. It has been so long since my last video that I frankly can't even remember when I filmed this. My best guess is around July or maybe the start of August because my hair looks completely different now. Maybe you saw in the opening clips it used to be like really long and I wasn't doing much with it. And now it's basically like a bob and I have bangs and part of it is blue. So this video is partially an unboxing of a little prize I got from Café Analog. I think this was back in, oh my gosh, May? June? I can't even remember, but basically I entered their birthday competition where you had to create a spread and post it with the hashtag and just, talk about your experience of the theme. And yeah, I got really lucky. They sent me this wonderful little package. I think all of it comes from Kinki. I'm really still not sure how to pronounce the name of this brand, so if you know, please tell me in the comments. So this poor little package just sat on my desk for months before I even got to properly look at it and unbox it. And I can't believe the patience that it took. It's not that I forgot about it. I was just like, okay, I will only open it when I can actually do it on camera. Look how cute these stamps are. Oh my god, this one is definitely my favorite. It's like this little long house or barn. I'm not sure what it is, but doesn't matter. It's beautiful. So I just want to say thanks to Hani and Café Analog for hosting this wonderful little competition, and I hope there will be more in the future because that is so much fun. If I can remember correctly, it also got me out of my journaling slump. So yeah, and then there was this beautiful PET tape, which is definitely more like a background texture kind of thing. And most of these designs are in these very pastel, cheerful colors, which I think are definitely a good fit for summer and spring, but unfortunately because I just couldn't sit down and film it, I've sort of missed the season. So I think the tape will have to wait until next year when the weather improves and it's no longer just gray 24/7 7 days a week. And this is actually not part of the prize from Café Analog. These two washi tapes are just something that I found in a local craft shop next to my language school. And then on the same day when I was coming back home from my language school, I found this magazine. I think it's like a sewing kind of pattern magazine from the 70s. It was just on the street. A lot of people in Germany, when they have random stuff they don't need anymore, they just put it out on the street in boxes and then the passerbys can just take whatever they want or need from them, which is a really nice practice. I enjoyed a lot. But yeah, that was it for my little stationery treasures. And now we're moving on to the journaling part of the video, where I wanted to make a little spread about, well, not strictly about, but I guess inspired by my first ever stargazing experience, which happened this summer. My partner and a bunch of his colleagues went to this little park on the outskirts of the city where there isn't as much light pollution. And we did see a bunch of shooting stars, which again was a first for me. It was a very interesting and I guess, memorable experience, but I was terrified the whole time we were walking through the forest at night after dark. I genuinely thought I was not going to make it alive out of there. I don't know why. I was just panicking. So yeah, I wanted to make a spread to commemorate that. I prepared the black background with my watercolors earlier off camera because it wasn't particularly interesting anyway. I just, used I used very little water because I don't really know how handmade paper handles watercolors. So I kind of used or misused watercolors as acrylics in this sense. And I also prepared the poetry, like the found words, off camera as well. I do that a lot of the times because it's a very slow process. Not always, but it can be a very slow process because I'm just sitting there with a book or a magazine for, sometimes like an hour trying to find the right words. I also like to leave it and then come back to it, so it's just not ideal. Doing it on camera is going to take so much space for nothing particularly exciting for viewers, I mean. And here I wanted to incorporate some part of the magazine that I found because I was just so excited to use it. And they had this little bit with a map and some leaves. I don't really know. You can see what I'm talking about. But I think it added a nice little like vintage feeling to it with the yellowed paper, and the old map aesthetic is just very, very nice. But anyway, for the rest of the video, I will probably not narrate every single step because it just doesn't add much to your experience of it. I would much rather talk about the stuff that happened off camera when I wasn't posting anything. To be fair, it has been a very busy summer, and I guess start of autumn as well. For those of you who don't know, I moved to Germany this year with my partner, and because I didn't speak any German when we came here, I'm currently trying to basically cram as much as I can and get my language certificate so I can, apply for jobs and actually figure life out. So it has been very intense. I have been doing like a lot of classes. I have tried different language schools. Thankfully, right now I'm just doing like private lessons with a tutor, which is working a lot better for me, I think, because it's just not as much like the amount of socializing I had to do when I was in language schools was definitely beyond anything I could handle at that time, especially while also trying to learn like a completely new language. So I'm very glad that right now it's more chill, but at the time I was making this video, I was like completely overwhelmed with just the amount of stuff I had to do every day. So that was pretty much my summer. And then by the time September rolled around, I was like completely exhausted, but thankfully I made the switch to private lessons, so that was nice. We also, my partner and I went to Poland to see his extended family, and that was also a really nice break, even though it was only for a few days for me because I couldn't take more time off from German. German has become my full-time job, and it's not fun, let me tell you that. But then at the end of September, I had probably the one of the best weekends of this year, full stop. I was very lucky in that I got to go to Amsterdam and attend 2 days of Café Analog Stationery Cafe, which this year was coupled with the Travelers. What is it called? Is it like the Travelers Stamp Caravan? Basically, the event where you can come in and you can, use the Travelers Company stamps and meet, your fellow Travelers Company obsessives. And yeah, I got to meet so many lovely people, and it was genuinely the best time, full stop. Like, I am so happy I went. And of course, it was made like double, triple, 100 times more special by the fact that Anna from, her channel, Anna Jimenez, Anna was there. She was basically like a resident artist for Café Analog for that month of September. And so I was crazy excited to just hang out in person and, journal together and talk about everything and anything. It was so fun. Of course, she had to work because she was kind of co-organizing the event. So she was the entire time, like, she was running around with her camera, filming for the yeah, for Café Analog and I guess for her channel as well. So I'm very much looking forward to that video because I didn't film anything. I was so distracted by just like talking to people and trying to also journal and I guess shopping as well because every time, like, I don't know if you haven't heard of Stationery Cafe before. It's basically an event where you can also purchase some of Cafe Analog's products that you normally, don't like. You can't buy them in person; they're only online. So yeah, I was distracted by absolutely everything. So I have zero footage from either of the days, either Saturday or Sunday. Looking back at it, I'm like, oh, I definitely could have filmed something, but I definitely enjoyed myself, so no regrets there. And then we also got to grab some drinks and a dinner with Anna's friends and this wonderful woman named Andrea. If you're watching this, by the way, hi, I hope you're doing okay. I hope your trip is as perfect as you imagined it. I'm sure it's actually much better than that, but yeah, it was just such a nice afternoon. It was sunny and warm, and we got some very nice like craft beers with funniest names as well. It was, yeah, it's just one of those memories that I think will stay with me for a while. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stop rambling about it now because honestly, I could just talk nonstop about it. It was one of the best weekends of this year, as I said before. But please let me know if you'd be interested in seeing like a little haul from, things that I got in Amsterdam because I did go a little bit crazy as far as my stationery purchases went. At least for me, I think I feel like I spent a lot. But in reality, I just got, a few stamps, quite a few stamps actually, and I got some PT tapes and some journals. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. And I think here I'm just gonna leave you with some attempted aesthetic shots of the finished spread. I'm really happy with the way it came out. I'm really trying to incorporate more layering into my pages. So I quite like the fact that I have this little, I guess, tip pin on the left side, and then it contrasts really nicely with the black background on the right side. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you'd like to see more of my journals, please make sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is the same as here on YouTube, Sophia with 2 eyes. And of course, give my channel a follow if you want to make sure you don't miss the next video. Until then, I hope you enjoy your journals and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.